तुमच्याकडे पण करू शकता तुम्ही. ओके, आता हा तुमच्याकडे झालं.
सुरू केलं मी पण. म्हणजे तुला
ओके,
होस्टला
हा.
दिसतं का किती जण रेकॉर्ड करताय?
हो, हर्षद चव्हाण मॅडम ऍड करू का?
हा, कर ना.
ओके, ते ऍड होतात. त्यांना पण होस्ट करू ना?
हा, कोर्स त्यांना पण कर. म्हणजे 4-5 जण असतील तर बरं आहे. हॅलो हर्षा मॅम.
हॅलो सर, हाऊ आर यू?
हॅलो. काय रे, आपला बच्चू बी आहे का? वा. भाऊला बी आनंद. काय नाव आहे भाऊचं?
हो.
काय नाव आहे बेटा? गिरीश.
क्रिश.
नीट
निश.
व्यवस्थित बोल.
क्रिश.
Feeling it.
क्रिश. अरे बापरे. जाऊ आता आम्ही मीटिंग बंद करतो बा. तू उडबिडू नको बरं आता.
तेच चाललंय तर तो करतो किंवा मस्त्या करतोय म्हणून मी आवाहन करत नव्हती.
हा. नाही, त्याला पण ऐकू द्या ना, म्हणजे कसं मीटिंग काय.
त्याला सवय झाली आता नेहमी तो म्हणतो आज पण एका तू लाईव्ह जाणार आहेस का? मग तू किती वेळ बोलणार आहेस काय? सगळ्याच प्रश्न झाले विचारून.
बरं, मी काय म्हणतो मॅडम, तुम्ही वायफाय मध्ये आहेत ना?
हा, वायफाय मध्ये.
हा,
आणि
बस. नाही बघा, तुमच्या
झालं ना
मध्ये
तरी पण मी मोबाईल वरून पटकन जॉईन होईल.
नाही, मध्ये थोडस
हेडफोन
तुमचं
लावते.
हे होतंय, म्हणजे नेटवर्क
हेडफोन लावते.
नेटवर्क इश्यू.
नेटवर्क इश्यू थोडा येतोय, पण कनेक्ट
जरा सेट करत होती ना म्हणून मग
नाही, छान दिसतंय, काय
हे
प्रॉब्लेम?
2 कलर दिसतायत ना?
नाही,
2
छान
दिसतायत
दिसतंय.
ना पण कलर?
हो, 2
राहू
आहेत.
दे.
राहू
2 वाटते मग काढू
नाही, राहू द्या. ते
का
इंडिया
एक कलर
सारखं
सरकवू का तिकडे?
हिरवं ऑरेंज कलर दिसतंय. बरोबर, राहू दे.
राहू दे मग जाऊ दे. कर. नाही.
वैभव 16:43 झाल्या.
हो साहेब,
शेअरिंग
आपण
बघायची
सुरुवात
का
करूया.
सर? पीपीटी शेअर बघून घेऊ का?
हा, तुम्ही टेस्ट करून घ्या ना मॅडम एकदा.
काही प्रॉब्लेम नाही.
तुम्ही एकदा
बघा,
पटापट
ओके.
खाली तुमचे एक स्लाइड खाली करून चेक करून घ्या, बरोबर आहे.
प्लीज 2 मिनिटं शांत बसा.
वैभव, पीपीटी कशी झाली रे? तू बघ बरं, आम्ही थोडी घाईघाईत केली होती ती.
साहेब, तुमचं काम जबरदस्त असतं, आम्ही बघतो नेहमी.
मी
वैभव
काय
सर
केलं?
पण आहेत का?
हा,
Yes, ma'am.
वैभव सर आहे, उर्मिला, आपली टीम आहे ना मॅडम, पूर्ण टीम आहे ना आपली आयसीटीची.
अच्छा, मला वाटलं की ते तिकडून असतील कनेक्टेड लोक.
हे पहा, 22-23 पुढे आहे अजून.
हेडफोन लावतो.
22-23 पुढे आहे अजून थोडं.
ओके.
हा, पुढे आहे अजून.
नाही
अजून
24.
हे दाखव.
हा, नमस्कार मॅडम.
हे नंतर झालं ना आपलं सर, मग हे लास्ट होतं.
माझा फोटो का तो याच्यात दिला, तो फोटो देऊ का क्लिअर करून? नाही, तो फक्त नाही, मी फोटो देतो ना, एक मस्त छान फोटो देऊ का मग क्लिअर? हो, बरं, मी तुम्हाला लगेच 5-10 मिनिटात पाठवतो. हो, छान पाठवतो एकदम. हे ना टेलिकोलॅबोरेशन निगडीत ना, माझा स्पेशल नको ना. हो, मी पाठवतो, 1-2 एकदम क्लिअर पाठवतो.
आणि तुम्ही ते 8 मार्कचं काय सरप्राईज देणार?
ते गोपनीय आहे ना, ते गोपनीय नाही करता येत नाही असं.
ओपन करू नका, फक्त 8 मार्क पण बिझी आहे कारण तुम्हाला पहिला बोलायचं.
नाही, तेच गोपनीय मग करतो. आता किरण दांडे म्हणजे आता योगेश सोनवणेची बेस्ट फ्रेंड आहे. मग तिचा कुठेतरी आपण उल्लेख केला पाहिजे त्या दिवशी. एवढा म्हणजे चांगल्या दिवशी आपण त्या प्लॅटफॉर्मवर हे केलं पाहिजे की कोण राज्यावर आपले महिला नेतृत्व एज्युकेशन साठी कशी आघाडी हो, ते आपलं सांगणं काम आहे ना.
ठीक आहे. कुठे बोलायचं
नाही, ते सरप्राईज त्या दिवशी दिल मी, बरोबर. ओके मॅडम, ओके, बाय. हा, हर्षा मॅडम, ते 26-27 क्लिअर करून घेतलं तुमचं? 26-27 स्लाइड समजली ना? शेवटची स्लाइड कुठली तुमची? बस, मग तिथे नंतर 3 पासून सुरू होईल तेव्हा मी जॉईन होऊन जाईल, बरोबर?
हा, चालेल. पीपीटी हीच ठेवेल. इन केस माझा प्रॉब्लेम झाला ना, तर तुम्ही पण मिनिमाइज करून ठेवा पीपीटी.
नाही, मी काढून ठेवली.
ऍटलीस्ट
वैभव, उर्मिला दोघांनी काढून ठेवलंय, काय प्रॉब्लेम?
ओके.
हा, म्हणजे आहे, सगळ्यांकडेच आहे.
येस सर, येस सर.
वैभव आता
न-
जॉईन व्हायला लावतो मी सर्वांना.
आता
हो
आवाज
साहेब.
स्पष्ट पडला खरं.
मला फक्त एक सांगा की आपण लाईव्ह केव्हा सुरू करायचं? लाईव्ह आपल्याला जायचं.
मी
मला
तुला
2
सांगतो ना, बरोबर 5 वाजता लाईव्ह मी तुला सांगेल तेव्हा सुरू करू.
ओके
तोपर्यंत
चालेल.
जॉईन करून सगळ्यांना म्यूट ठेव डायरेक्ट.
ओके चालेल सर. आता मी फोर्सफुली म्यूट केलेले आहे सर्वांना. फक्त आपण जे को होस्ट आहोत तेवढेच माईक म्यूट अनम्यूट करू शकाल. हा
सर हे नेल्सन आणि तहाणी त्यांना ऍडमिट करायचे काय?
माईक अनम्यूट आहे साहेब. माईक म्यूट आहे. माईक अनम्यूट करा.
त्यांना ऍडमिट करून घे वैभव, फक्त म्यूट राहू दे. आणि आपला वैभव पीपीटीचा बोर्ड लावून ठेव ना, तो आपलं चित्र ते.
ओके सर चालेल.
हा बस आता कसं एकदम छान दिसतंय. आता टोटल 8 पार्टिसिपंट झाले. आता जॉईन होतील लोक आपल्याला फटाफट. वैभव होस्ट तूच राहा बरं. वैभव
हो साहेब.
ए
मी
वैभव.
शेवटपर्यंत
हा
मी
होस्ट.
शेवटपर्यंत असतो.
हा होस्ट तूच राहा. ते नाव बदलून घे ना. शिल्पा शर्माचं नाव तर बदलता येईल ना रिनेम मध्ये.
ओके मी चेक करतो सर.
काय माहिती
उर्मिला मॅडम सगळ्यांचं वेलकम करा फक्त मेसेज टाकून. वेलकम ऑल डिग्निटरीज टू इंडिया. ग्रीटिंग्स फ्रॉम इंडिया टाका. वैभव इज्जत असेल सर आहेत का?
नाही सर, नाही बरं का अजून
नाहीये सर, नाही.
नाही.
इज्जत हसन सर आले बघ, त्यांना बी को होस्ट कर आणि त्यांचा माईक हे ठेव, अनम्यूट करून ठेव. हॅलो वैभव.
डन सर, डन डन.
हाँ हाँ हाँ. हेलो वेलकम इज्जत सर. हेलो इज्जत सर, वेलकम. वेलकम टू इंडिया.
Yeah, hello everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine.
So you just remind us when we have to start, because we have 6 minutes left.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Mm,
Our peer
5 minutes.
members, yes, peer members are joining. We will wait for them about 5 to 6 minutes.
Yeah, okay. No problem.
Yes, our another team member, Dr. Kamal Jabbar, is also joined. I also welcome Dr. Kamal Jabbar. Welcome, sir, to India.
Maybe he doesn't hear.
Vaibhav. Hello, Vaibhav.
हा सर.
ते डॉक्टर कमाल जबर आहे ना, त्यांना अनम्यूट करून ठेवलं.
ओके ओके सर.
हर्षा मॅम तयारी झाली ना?
येस सर.
I am confident you will present very well. Just like last webinar, last international webinar.
Yeah. Okay, just tell me when I have
No, I will
to
just
share the
introduce
PPT. So
in
that,
1 minute, and I will call you that my first co-colleague now will present, and you have to start.
Okay. So who will introduce? I think Izzat Hassan sir, or who will start first?
No, I will ask her to give best wishes for our teachers to Izzat sir. When Izzat sir will give best wishes, then I will call you that now your turn. I will
Okay.
remind you.
Okay, sure.
सर बिफोर स्टार्ट आपल्याला लाईव्ह मला सांगा. हा, मी ऑन आहे ऑलरेडी.
नाही आता सुरू करून ठेव ना, लाईव्हचं सुरू करून ठेव. नाही
लाईव्ह जायचं लाईव्हला आपण.
नाही, आपण काय करू, 5 ला लाईव्हला जाऊ, म्हणजे
अजून नका, थोडस थांबा ना.
सेटिंग ऑन आहेत, मला तुम्ही सांगाल त्याच्या मी ऑन करेल. त्यानंतर सेटअप ब्रॉडकास्ट व्हायला फक्त 20 सेकंद ते 30 सेकंद लागतात. त्यानंतर आपण सुरू करू शकतो.
हा, मग आपलं ते 30 सेकंद बाकी असतील तेव्हा तू सुरू करून द्यायचं तू.
ओके मला फक्त एक सांगाल मला की वैभव आपण 30 सेकंद.
तुला मी रिमाइंड करतो ना बरोबर. मुशीर मॅडम तुम्ही पटापट ऍड करा, आता जे पण येतील ना त्यांना पटापट ऍड करून घ्या.
हो सर.
वैभव
ओके साहेब बोला.
हा, आता आपण काय करू, शिल्पा मॅडमला फोन करून त्यांना सांगून देऊ की तुमचा पासवर्ड कोणतरी वापरला होता, ते सुरू होतो बा. मग आम्ही ती मीटिंग
हो.
क्लोज केली.
हो हो हो, त्यांना नंतर सांगायला हवं ते.
आणि पासवर्ड चेंज करून त्यांना कळून देतो नवीन पासवर्ड काय तो. बरोबर आहे ना? आपण कळून देऊ त्यांना की हा नवीन पासवर्ड ठेवला, कारण की 2-3 मीटिंग ऑलरेडी लोक सुरू होते म्हणा, मग ते काही हे नको व्हायला म्हणून आम्ही ते सेफ्टीसाठी चेंज करून हा पासवर्ड आहे बा तुमचा.
ओके चालेल साहेब, तसं करूया
कळून
आपण,
देऊ.
काय प्रॉब्लेम.
बरोबर आहे ना?
हो हो हो.
हम्म. हॅलो वैभव. हॅलो वैभव.
हा साहेब. हा
आता ते
हा साहेब.
फेसबुक लाईव्ह ते तू स्टार्ट करून दे. स्टार्ट कर, म्हणजे 30 सेकंदाने आपोआप ते लाईव्ह होईल.
ओके चालेल साहेब.
इज्जत सर. हॅलो इज्जत सर.
Yes, yes, yes.
Within 1 minute, now we have to start our meeting. Okay?
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
उर्मिला मॅडम स्टार्ट करायचं. झाले 5 वाजले बरोबर.
हो सर, हो सर.
Namaste from India to all my dignitary teacher educators from whole universe. Myself Yogesh Sorone, senior lecturer, Diet Nasik, Maharashtra, India. First, I would like to welcome all the dignitaries and the chief guest of today's program, Mr. Respected Izzat Hasan sir, who is the board of director member from Eco Training Center, Sweden. Also, we have another dignitary, Dr. Kamal Jabbar, who is also a board of director member from Eco Training Center. We heartily welcome, sir. We heartily welcome you
Thanks.
for our international webinar, and we are very thankful for you that only because of you we got this international opportunity to present our views, to share our thoughts on the new education policy 2020, which is implemented by our government of India. So I again very thankful, and I congratulate to Dr. Izzat Hasan sir and Dr. Kamal Jabbar sir and all my teacher friends who are now gathered here. So on behalf of our government of India and on behalf of my institute, that is District Institute of Education and Training Nasik, on behalf of Regional Academic Authority Mumbai, I welcome you. I have my colleague also with us, that is, she is none other than Harsha Chauhan. She is teacher educator from RAM Mumbai. We also have my 2 and important colleagues which are a great part of this webinar, that is Mr. Vaibhav Shinde, my co-colleague, and Miss Urmila Ushir, who are giving their technical support for this webinar. So I heartily welcome to Dr. Izzat Hasan sir. Please give your best wishes to this program. Izzat sir.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, my friend. On behalf of Eco Training Center Sweden, I'd like to present my warm thanks to you, Mr. Yogesh and Mr. Harisha, for doing this excellent webinar. Yeah, it's part of our Eco Training Center program for sustainable development is the international cooperation and the cultural exchange among countries and nations. So I'd like to thank you for your initiative for introducing some glimpse about the Indian education, and I'd like so much to know more about the educational system and the new policy in India, because since I visited India in 2016, I'm so fascinated by the Indian culture and the Indian education. And on behalf of myself and all the other members of Eco Training Center, we all would like to know more about the educational policy in India and the new system. So I'd like to thank you for inviting us to this presentation, and we'd like to repeat it more and more in the future about India or other countries. Yeah, thanks, my friends. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, respected Izzat sir. Now we have to start our session. So I will introduce you first that our today's speaker is myself, Yogesh Rone, and other speaker is Miss Harsha Chavan, who is well-known teacher educator, techno-savvy teacher, and innovative teacher of state of Maharashtra, India. She also going to share her thoughts on how our education policy is generated, what are the silent features, what are the major changes in our education policy. So I would like to tell Miss Harsha Chavan that please take your floor and start your lecture. Okay, Harsha ma'am, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sir Yogesh, sir. Thank you, Izzat, sir. Thank you, Diet Nashik team and Voice team of Asia. Thank you, everyone. So let's welcome each and everyone from this platform. So hope you all are well and doing well. In this pandemic situation also, we have lots of things to do, and there are many things which can be shared here. So first, today we are going to start with our most awaiting session about what exactly the National Education Policy of India. You all are aware about the thing that when education is the fundamental of achieving any success, and when we have to start promoting the educations, we have to think about the scenario of that education in the different aspect. For that, we have to overview about this today's presentation with few points. First, we will go through the background of this policy, what earlier policy says about that, then some salient features of National Education Policy 2020, and what are our role and responsibility as a stakeholders for this education policy. Then again, the session will open for each and every one for the question answer session. So you feel free to ask the question after the session. Thank you. So let's begin with some of the important aspects of this policy. Okay, is the slides are visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Thank you.
Harsha ma'am,
Yes,
please speak slowly. Your network is giving some problem. Please speak slowly.
Yes, sir. Okay. Voice is clear?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So when we go through the national education policies of the from the earlier era, so we have national education policy from 1968. But before that, let's know about what exactly the national education policy, what exactly NEP is called. So actually, it is a policy formulated by the government of India to promote and regulate education in India, which is national education policy. So the policy covers elementary education in India. So the first NEP was promulgated by the government of India by Prime Minister Indira Gandhi in 1968. We can see here the National Education Policy of the 1968, which after that the third Prime Minister, then second Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, promoted the 1986 policy, and now the policy which is replaced by this government is Modi government with Honorable Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi. He replaced this National Education Policy of 1986 with the National Education Policy 2020. So actually 1968's policy prepared to improve the quality of education in the country. And it focused on providing education facilities to all the citizens of the nation. What exactly this policy says? When we go through the details about the policy, it was further updated in 1992 to spread knowledge and freedom of thought among the citizens of the country, which is important. So the earlier policies mentioned that though the education is in the concurrent list of the Constitution of India, the state governments play an important role in the development of education, especially in the primary and secondary levels. So the all focus was given for the primary and secondary education. So again, the revised structures happened, some need analysis done, and in 1986, the government led by Rajiv Gandhi introduced a new education policy on education. And this policy called special emphasis on the removal of the disparities to equalize education opportunity, which is especially for Indian women, scheduled tribes, and scheduled caste communities. So to achieve the success, social integration, the policy called for expanding scholarships, adult education, recruiting more teachers from SCs, and incentives for poor families. So the policy not only supported for the education, but the policy also supported for the financial, social, economical background for the learners, which was really very appreciating thing. So the NEP called for a child-centered approach in primary education and launched Operation Blackboard to improve primary schools nationwide. So this was the significance of the 1986 policies, Operation Blackboard, to improve the primary school nationwide. Then in 1992, when the 1986 National Policy on Education was modified in 1992, then we got the former Prime Minister Manmohan Singh adopted a new policy based on the common minimum program of his United Progressive Alliance. So the program of action, which is called POA in 1992, under the National Policy of Education, which was in which 1986 to conduct a common entrance examination on all India basis for admission to professional and technical programs in the country. For admission to engineering and architecture planning programs, Government of India widely resolution date means in 2001 has laid down a 3 exam schemes: JEE, then AIEEE at the national level, and state level engineering entrance examination, which is called SLEEE for state level institutions with an option to join AIEEE. So those were the significance of those policy. Then we have the sustainable development goals. All the policies get more support and got the most significance because of the Right to Education Act, which was formulated from the 2009. We adopted, we accepted, and we implemented this right to education from 2009. And now we are moving towards the 21st century skill development program. And for that, this National Education Policy formulated. Here we can see the National Education Policy 2020 replaces 1986 policy. The committee, which come under the guidance of the Secretary TSR Subramaniam, started the consultation process for the new education policy, which was based on the committee report of the 2017 draft. So Indian Space Research Organization, ISRO, Chief Mr. Krishnaswamy Kasturirangan really gave his remarkable inputs and all the stands to develop and design this policy. So this committee proved really worked, and now we are having such types of leaders in our hand. So the draft new education policy was later released by Ministry of Human Resource Development, MHRD, followed by a number of public consultations. Lots of consultations we got. Over 2 lakh suggestions from Gram Panchayat, 6,600 from blocks, 6,000 from urban local bodies, and nearby 676 from the districts level. We received the suggestions, then inputs from all level and all the peoples, all the stakeholders, teachers, teacher educators, parents, then the researchers, then the critics also help us to draft this policy more effectively, and which is now which was declared on 7th August 2020. So what exactly this policy is giving us? There is a vision which really it itself is abroad. The first thing we can mention is that transforming India. It contributes directly to the transforming India. This policy is envisions on systems rooted in Indian ethos that contributes directly to the transforming India that is called Bharat. And it also helping for the high quality education to all, and thereby making India a global, knowledgeable superpower. This is a strong vision of this national education policy. This policy also helps the students to deep sense of respect towards the fundamental duties and constitutional values, even the bonding with one's country. And it will arouse the awareness among all the citizens, all the stakeholders for their roles and responsibility to change the world for the 21st century and globally nationwide. These are the vision. This policy is divided in 4 parts. The first part is school education, part 2, higher education, part 3, other key areas which we will see which they are focusing, and the 4th part is how it make happen with the help of these 3 sections. So this part 1, school education, really help us to know the early childhood care and education, foundational literacy and numeracy, curtailing dropout rates and ensuring universal access to education, how the curriculum and pedagogy in schools will help for the holistic and integrated enjoyable learning, then how teachers can update and upgrade themselves for the sake of the learners. Then we have the equitable and inclusive education, which is called as a learning for all. Then how efficient resourcing and effective governments through school complexes and clusters can develop the schools and the society also. How the standard setting and accreditation for school education will set the remarkable goal for the sustaining in the future also. Part 2 is focusing for the higher education, which was really got a less focus in previous policy. So this policy is giving more focus on the higher education. So the quality universities and colleges will get a forward-looking vision for the India's higher education. Institution restructuring and consolidation towards a more holistic and multidisciplinary education. Then optimal learning environments which can support the students, how it will motivate the energized and capable faculty, equity and inclusion for higher education, teacher education. Vocational education is remarkably focused in this policy. So the catalyzing quality academic research, then transforming regulatory system of higher education, effective governance and leadership for higher education institution is really focused. The part 3 has some key areas. For example, professional education, adult education, and lifelong learning. So the proper planning will this policy will give for the adult education and lifelong learning. Promotion of Indian languages in the sense of arts and culture also, technology use and integration, online and digital education, ensuring equitable use of technology. So, and the part 4 is really making it happen with these 3 sections: strengthening the Central Advisory Board of Education, financing affordable and quality education for all, and how this policy will get implemented throughout the years, and how which types of initiatives should be taken, which changes should be done to make it happen, which is really important. So let's turn to the what exactly this national education policy will give us. There are some salient features of this new education policy. The first is new pedagogical and cultural structure. The previous structure was based on the 10+2, but this policy is based on the pedagogical and curriculum development for the 5+3+3+4, which is covering the ages of 3 to 18 years. Then the age group of 3 to 6 were not covered in the previous policy, in the previous structure of 10+2. But now in 5+3+3+4 structure is giving more focus for the ECC from the age 3. Then universal providing quality of early childhood development care and education is remarkably giving focus and which must be achieved as soon as possible till the 2030. So the overarching goal will be ensure universal access for the ECC across the country is phased manner. Then it will ensure universal access and afford opportunity to all children of the country to obtain quality holistic education, which will include vocational education from preschool to grade 12. So the standard setting, regulatory framework and facilitating systems for school regulation, accreditation and governance shall be reviewed to enable improvements on the basis of learning and experiences. These are some of the features which will help to develop new pedagogical and curricular structure for this NEP. We will give the reference for this new pedagogical structure in the paragraph 8.8. We can go through that in our draft of the National Education Policy. So the important thing is that age 3 onwards development is important according to the pedagogical view. So in the previous policy, we had the academic structure was 10+2. So from the education started from the 6th year to 16, and the higher education for the 16 to 18. But in the new education policy, it has a first part, 4 sections, 4 pillars to sustain the development in the pedagogical and curricular structure. 3 years Anganwadi or preschool Balvatika is compulsory for the ages 3 to 6. Then 2 years for the classes 1st and 2nd, which is for the ages 6 to 8 is important. So it will be the foundational of the child development. So foundational course has to complete. Then we have the preparatory learning, preparatory curriculum development learning for the classes 3 to 5, which will start for the ages 8 to 11. Then we will have a middle format for the development of the child, which is class 6 to 8, and which has the ages from the 11 to 14. So the classes 9 to 12, which will be the ages from the 14 to 18, will call as a secondary source of the development. So the 4 parts of this structure are important: foundational, preparatory, middle, and secondary. This will help to restructure the school curriculum and pedagogy for this format 5+3+3+4. So the design corresponding to the age ranges from, just we saw that in the previous slide, that 3 to 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 14, and 14 to 18. So respectively, all this will get the full focus, and it will get the step-by-step courses and the development and the trainings for the years. But no parallel changes will be for the physical infrastructure will be required. So we can develop all these stages, all these sections in the current scenario. No need for the higher than for the more expensive infrastructures for the development of the curriculum or restructuring the school. In the current scenario, we can do the development. So it will consist of the, just now we go through that foundational stage, preparatory stage, middle stage, and secondary stage. So the foundational stage is for the Anganwadi, 2 years in primary school in grades, and both together covering the ages 3 to 8. The highlighting feature of this phase is it has a flexibility, multi-level training courses available. Then playful, joyful, activity-based learning methodologies are adopted, and the curriculum and pedagogy has been designed according to the ECC need. So these are the remarkable things. For the preparatory stage, the experimental learning across the sciences, mathematics, arts, social sciences, and humanities are important. For the covering ages 11 to 14, subject-oriented pedagogical and curricular style is important. And then for the secondary stage, we will have a 11 to 12 in the second covering ages for the 1480, which is giving more focus on the greater depth, critical thinking, and more attention for the aspiration of the learners and the stakeholders also. Greater flexibility and student choices, students will get the choice to choose the subjects whatever they want, and even it is option exit at grade 10 and re-enter at the stage of 11 also. So again, they are getting more opportunity to choose their subject and to learn at their own for the grade 11 also. So this is early childhood core and education, the foundation of the learning. So when we go through that, we got the idea that overall aim of ECC will be attain optimal outcome in the domains, means physical, motor development, cognitive development, socio-emotional, ethical development, cultural, artistic development, and the communication in early language. Literacy and numeracy is mostly focus. So ECC, specially trained curriculum pedagogy, highlighted numerous rich local traditions of India developed. Anganwadis have some features. Standalone Anganwadis co-located with primary school, pre-primary school sections covering at least age 5 to 6 years, co-located with existing primary schools, and standalone preschools. So these are the strengthening of the early childhood education. Then training of current Anganwadi workers, teachers, those with qualifications of 10 plus 2 and above all shall be given a 6-month certificate program in ECC. So those with lower education qualifications shall be given a 1-year diploma program. They will get trained by the government with the certified 6-month diploma program, which is really essential for the foundational of the early childhood, because if the teachers got trained, then only the foundation will be the concrete. The program may be have the digital and distance mode also, because we don't know what the scenario will change in the futures. Just now we are facing such this remote learning, online learning. So in future also, if we should be get prepared for the such types of learning programs also, and that's why we will have a digital distance mode, allowing teachers to acquire ECC qualification with minimal disruption to their current work. Then Ministry of HRT, Women and Child Development, Health and Family Welfare and Tribal Affairs also carried out jointly all the care of the early childhood and education curriculum. So it will go hand in hand for the development of the early childhood education, and it will give a concrete foundation for the learners' development and the learning and to sustain. The most important and highlighting thing that we all know that India has a multilingual background. Multilingualism is the root of Indian culture, but it is again the power of Indian society. We have unity in a diversity. We have cultural differences, but we don't have any compromises in the education. So whenever it's possible, the medium of instruction should be flexible with, means it should be for the grade 5th, at least it should be for the grade 5th, at least for the home language, mother tongue, local language, and regional language. So this is important thing. So the division for this medium of instruction in 4 parts: home, mother, local, and regional. So curriculum should be developed. The developer should think and should be consider all these factors while designing the curriculum. Multilingualism should be considered for each and every stage of the design curriculum, designing any activity, designing any course and it is mandatory for the each and every sector. Thereafter, the home local language shall be continued. This language should be continued not only in the school premises, but it should be in a public and private schools also. And the more respect and more emphasis should be given on the mother tongue use. So the particular state has the right to use their, and all the government circulars should be in the mother tongue, so that more focus should be given on the mother tongue. And with respect to the other languages, the curriculum should develop according to that. It should be designed according to that. So states may enter into the bilateral agreements to hire teachers from each other. So that the 3 language learning formula, mostly the states
हर्षा मॅम, हॅलो. वैभव, हर्षा मॅम लेफ्ट झाले का?
लेफ्ट नाही झालं, पण त्यांचा व्हॉइस फ्रीज झाला होता. मी एकदा पुन्हा चेक करतो.
हॅलो हर्षा मॅम.
आहेत साहेब, जोडलेले आहेत आपल्यासोबत. मॅम, आमचा आवाज तुम्हाला येत असेल तर तुम्ही व्हिडिओ ऑफ करून तुम्ही बोलू शकता, जेणेकरून तुम्हाला नेटवर्क चांगलं येईल. ओके, आता लेफ्ट झालं साहेब.
बरं, मी स्टार्ट करतो. वैभव, माझी स्क्रीन दिसते?
हो सर.
हो सर, हो सर, हो सर, दिसते.
Okay. Good afternoon, friends. Now I will continue. I think Harsha ma'am are facing some internet problem. I will continue. To promote language policy, 3 language formula is accepted by our government. First, 2 languages are using our native languages, means it should be first of your state language, second is your regional language and national language, and third language you have to select from any foreign language, that is English, that is French, Japanese, any one choice of the learner. The efforts to prepare this high quality textbook, bilingual textbook, teaching learning materials for science and mathematical subject, it should be created for the learners that they can learn the best way. And in the same way, the Indian Sign Language, which is used for deaf and dumb persons, extraordinary persons, some disadvantaged group, so that type of sign language must be also included in our syllabus at state level and national level. Then extracurricular. Hello ma'am, can you continue? Hello Harsha ma'am.
Yes sir, sure. Thank
Yes.
you sir.
फक्त हळू
Yes,
बोला,
sir.
तुम्ही
Yeah,
मान
can you
हलवताय
hear
ना?
me?
येस
Sorry,
येस,
there
तुम्ही
was some-
फक्त मान नका हलवू, ती साऊंड कट होतोय. स्थिर मान ठेवा फक्त. यू कॅन कंटिन्यू. Hello Harsha ma'am, continue. Hello Harsha ma'am.
Okay, can I
Yes,
share
yes.
my PPT again?
No,
Yes.
no,
Yeah.
no.
Who is sharing the PPT?
I have already shared. You just ask me.
Okay.
Next, I will handle it. Okay.
Okay, sir. So, yeah, already, Yogesh sir already discussed about the multilingualism features. Let's have some curricular integration of the essential subject skills and capacities. Certain subject skills and capacities will be emphasized in a school, such as scientific temper and evidence-based thinking, creativity, and innovativeness. So, for example, fitness, wellness of the sports, collaboration and teamwork, problem solving and logical reasoning, vocational exposure and skills, digital literacy, coding and computational thinking, ethical and more reasoning. So it will be helpful for the introducing contemporary subjects such as artificial intelligence, design thinking, holistic health and organic living, environment education. Again, global citizenship education. It will help for the introducing these contemporary subjects. Mathematics and computational thinking can be increased through the school years, and the activity should be designed according to that, which should involve the course of or the middle stage. It should not be focused and it should not be stressed from the beginning. It should be done from the sixth standard. So it is necessary to understand which it should be started. Then we have National Curriculum Framework for School Education. The formulation of new comprehensive national curriculum framework for school education will undertake by the NCERT. So NCERT will design for the NCF, and according to that,
हॅलो हर्षा मॅम.
सर मॅडमकडे नेटवर्क कनेक्टिव्हिटीचा इश्यू दिसतोय सर.
मे बी. हॅलो हर्षा मॅम, बहुतेक लेफ्ट झालं का ते?
hello, I have joined with mobile also. So
Yes, yes.
just give me the access to use the mobile also. Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
I have two
you
devices.
join.
But
I will
the host
continue.
is not allowing me to from the another device. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the national textbook with local content and flavor is the another feature which is very important. The states will prepare their own curriculum which will be based on the NCF and SCF. So NCF will design by the NCERT, and state government will design the SCF, and according to that the curriculum will be designed by the curriculum developer from the state. So NCERT to the extent possible and prepares the textbook, and it will be incorporating state flavor and material as needed. So we can take the reference, and with that reference and based on the NCF, we will design the SCF, and the curriculum will be designed for the state according to again the background and the need and analysis. Okay. So the concerned efforts through suitable changes can be done for the curriculum design, understanding the pedagogy of the particular subject and particular area of the design, and it will be made significantly reduce the weight of lost school bags and textbooks. That's why we are now moving for the integrated textbook. So NEP is giving us the opportunity to design the integrated textbook. Okay, so very soon the changes will happen. So then we have the teachers recruitment and development. Transfers will be conducted through an online computerized system. We all know that nowadays teachers are also working in a remote area. So what happens? Sometimes teachers are taking some initiatives, doing some innovations, and major roles they are doing for the uplifting and upgrading the school environment, the students, and the overall system of the school. But because of the transfers, again we are not getting the 100% results. Outputs are not given, even the outcomes are not get fulfilled, and that's why all the transfers should be done in a systematic manner so that the education should not be disturbed and interrupted by this scenario. Okay. Yeah.
Can you listen me and hear me?
Yes ma'am, yes. इको येतोय, इको. एक युनिट बंद करा कुठे
Hello.
इको होतो. हॅलो मॅडम, हा बोल. येतोय, क्लिअर आवाज येतोय. यू कॅन स्पीक.
Hello. Yeah.
हा मॅडम, इको होतोय, एक युनिट बंद करा तुमचं.
Okay, sir. Fine. Fine. Is it okay now?
Yes, yes, okay.
So,
Hello ma'am.
yes, sir.
So
Yes,
by
you can.
2025, at least 50% of learners through the school and higher education system shall have exposure to vocational education. This is important feature of the new education policy, that reimagining vocational education. How we can do this? the most important fact, we were discussing about the teachers transport and teacher training. More focus Yogesh sir will give on that how it will done for the recruitment and the teacher training. So the important thing is that we are not making the clock here. We are not making only the result oriented students. We are developing the overall a compact person. We are preparing a responsible citizen and a skill based human personality for the country's development and the overall achieving the SDGs. So for that vocational education is very important. Beginning with vocational exposure at early ages in middle and secondary school. So the quality vocational education should be given with the help of the curriculum. So the curriculum should be designed according to that. The more focus should be given for the vocational with the help of the academic only also. So every child should learn at least one vocation and exposed to several more also. At least one skill should be developed by each and every student. And for that, teachers' role, stakeholders, curriculum development's role is very important for the designing the whole program. Sampling of important vocational crafts such as carpentry, electric work, metal work, gardening, pottery making, such types of jobs, even the household work should be known by each and every gender. So which is very important, and that this should be decided by the states and local community for during the grades from the 6 to 8. So from the grade 6, the vocational education should start, and for the higher education also give the more focus and opportunity to develop the more vocational education, and the courses should be designed according to that, so that they will get the support with the help of the academic. They can do the vocational courses by hand in hand. So a 10-day barreless period sometime during the grade 6 to 8 should be intern with the local vocational expert. For example, carpenters, gardeners, potters, artists visit field trips, then school visits should be done, then the interviews, such types of things should be done in schools. Similar internship opportunities, some seminars should be done, some workshops should be conducted for the vocational development, for the understanding the vocational subjects and the need, and giving the more respect for the vocational education. So such things should be done for the grade 6 to 12, including holiday periods also. So vocational courses through online mode can be done. So more opportunity should be given for that, and vocational education will be integrated in all schools. So this is the most important factor, that the vocational education should give respect, more ideas, more opportunity with other academic subjects. So next. Yogesh sir, next slide.
Yes.
So again, after all the important features, this is again the most highlighting and most focus and very remarkable feature of this National Education Policy 2020 is that adult education and lifelong learning. We all know that learning never stops. Learning never stop, and we are lifelong learner until we got the confidence that yes, I can give more opportunity others to learn in the same way. So we are the learners for the lifelong, and for that adult education is also important. So adult education curriculum framework will be developed by a new constitution body of NCERT with 5 types of programs. Foundation literacy and numeracy, which will be based on the critical life skills, means financial literacy, digital literacy, commercial skills, healthcare and awareness. Then vocational skills development, basic education, including preparatory, middle and secondary stage equivalentary. Then continuing education, including engaging holistic adult education, courses in arts, sciences, technology, culture, sports and recreation. So this should be done with these programs. The adult education can be give more importance and focus. Then use of schools for adult education courses, which will give ICT equipped education, designing the curriculum such as with the help of trained educators. Then qualified community members, including from higher educational institutes, to engage with their local is important. Quality technology based option. The most important thing is that adult education should give the more opportunity to gain the knowledge of the ICT centers will be developed. So the satellite-based TV channels, online books, and ICT-equipped sessions should be done. Online provision should be given for the adult education. Then night schools should get promoted. In Mumbai, we will have some night schools from 6 to 9:30, 6 to 10:30, or 7 to 10:30 p.m. The students, means who the whole day they are working as a daily working for on the daily wages, they are learning in the night schools, and in those schools the students from the students from the ages of the 14 are not only there, some adult adult learners are also there. So this is a significance, and it should get more focus and emphasis on the adult education. So thank you everyone. We hope that you will understand some features of this national education policy. Yogesh sir, can you take over the remaining features?
Yes, sure, ma'am.
Over to you,
Thank-
Yogesh sir. Thank you everyone.
Thank you, Harsha, ma'am. Friends, now I will continue the next points. You already know that with the lecture of Harsha, ma'am, you will come to know that this policy has thought about the all-round development of students as well as teachers. In this policy, the most and important point, foundational literacy and numeracy, and urgent and necessary prerequisite to learning. All of you know that in our school, we took lots of international tests and exams. That is, you know that there are different tests like Pearl test, Teams test, PISA test. And in that test, we found result of our students that foundation literacy and numeracy based questions, which are wrongly appeared by our students. So foundation literacy and numeracy are the key points which should be paid attention towards our teachers and students. So in this policy, this point is developed, and a separate ministry, separate cell would be created by our government of India. As a same way,
कॅमेरा
there-
प्लीज कॅमेरा ऑन कर.
नाही ते नेटवर्क साठी मी बंद करून ठेवलाय. In the same way, universal foundation literacy and numeracy in all primary schools from grade C3, it would be started and it would be achieved by 2025. All our teachers will be trained to impart foundational literacy and numeracy with the help of think tank of teachers, of scholars, of stakeholders, to ensure that all students are school ready. And interim 3 months play-based school preparation module for the grade 1 student will be developed with the help of NCERT, respected SCERT, which are the apex body of education. A national repository of high quality resources, that is on foundational literacy and numeracy, will be available on the national platform, which is ICT based platform. We called it as Diksha, means digital infrastructure of knowledge sharing. In that Diksha, there is various innovative models, peer tutoring and volunteer activities would be promoted, and it should be promoting the foundation literacy and numeracy to gain more and more achieve with the help of public and school libraries. Now our libraries would be changed as digital libraries, means a national book promotion policy would be formulated by our government. Then the major issue which is found in our area, in our school curriculum system, that is the dropout rates of students in our schooling system. So this policy also paid attention that how this issue will be curtailed, how it should be tackled. So there are 2 initiatives are declared in our policy, that no school remain deficient on infrastructure support from pre-primary school to grade 12. means alternative and innovative education center should be established, means children of laborers, children who are dropping out of school, children, some programs would be designed. And in our country we have designed Bal Rakshak project, that is child project protector. Teachers are now called as child protector. When they found that there is out of school children, they take that student and they admit that student in nearby school. So child protector project is now working very drastically and awesomely in our country. In the same way, we are going to achieve a universal participation in school of tracking which students are enrolled in schools and which students are not enrolled. Means our government has developed a software that is called Saral. In that software, we are tracking how the enrollment of student are achieving in particular school or not. Various types of counselors, social workers are working with us in a CSR format, corporate social responsibility format. In the same way, we are facilitating some multiple pathways to learning involving both formal and non-formal education at various modes. Our government has also going to launch NIOS institutes, that is National Institutes of Open Schooling. In the same way, State Institute of Open Schools are also established. They are provided by A, B, C, 3 types of level. In that levels, students from grade 3, 5th and 8th will be admitted and they will continue their education. Still higher education, they are not achieved, but at a particular age, they will get their education. They will get a chance to fulfill their education with the help of regular schools and open schools. Every state will be formed State Institute of Open Schooling. It focuses to less emphasis on input and greater emphasis on output potential concerning desired learning outcomes, which will be satisfied by 2025. For this, various types of efforts to involve community participation. In the same way, some volunteer, retired person, scientists, government, semi-government employees will be give their best to fulfill this achieve. Next, this policy also denotes the holistic development of learners. Means in slide number 2, 3, you already say that there are lots of issues, lots of new concepts are coming in our life. To fulfill this curriculum, some pedagogical reform, and every children must understand and learn in a specific way. That is a cultural point, that is a holistic point, that is building his character point, create well-rounded development, to know 21st century skill, means various types of skill must be known to every student. So holistic development is also typically pointed in that policy. Specific sets of skills and values across all the domains, that is various types of domain, will be identified for integration and incorporation at each stage of learning from pre-primary to higher education to fulfill holistic development. In the same way, this policy also promotes the reduction in curriculum content, means not there should be lots and lots of curriculum, lots and lots of topics, many types of books. No, it is not important. Our government has just reduced some curriculum and just focuses the core essentials and make space for critical thinking, inquiry-based learning, discovery-based learning, discussion methods, analysis-based learning. So they can get the key concept of ideas, application, problem solving. So our teaching and learning will be developed with more interactive manner. In the same way, this policy also promotes the experiential training, experiential learning, to promote hands-on learning, arts integrated and sports integrated education, storytelling based pedagogy, and other standard pedagogy, which will be helpful for students in the form of computer-based learning and education. So various types of learning outcomes, capabilities, disposition, and all the specific information will be gathered with the help of experiential learning. before this policy, there would be some major changes in our policy. In our last policy, 1986, there should be 3 parts and parcel. Some activities are called as curricular activities. Some activities are called extracurricular activities. Some activities are called curricular activities. But in this policy, there are no bag and parcel of various type of activities. Now all activities will be called as educational activities, means all activities would be linked with arts, human science, vocational. Means now there should be no streams at senior secondary level. Means some students after passing 10th, they got admission in arts stream. Some students get admission in science stream. Some get in commerce stream. But now there should not be a separate stream. Every student can get different lessons from arts subject. They can appear for science subject. They can appear for vocational subject. Means arts, humanities, sciences, commerce, and vocational education now are linked with arts and craft, physical education, vocational skills to develop all-round personality of every students. For sometimes government is thinking whether there should be semester pattern or other pattern of various countries, or there is annual pattern for examination to fulfill, achieve the goal of all-round development. So it should be developed by our country. Now it is also think that knowledge of India would be spread among all the learners, means the ancient knowledge, the accurate and scientific knowledge, which should be given by Indian knowledge system. Various types of books, tribal knowledge, indigenous and traditional ways of learning will be covered with lots of video documentary, some inspiration luminaries of India, some modules, some ornaments, ancient and modern and scientific way that our student will learn what is the ancient history of our India, what is the middle history of India, what is the modern history of our India, so they can take ethical decisions. In later years, this would be then expanded along themes of cheating, violence, plagiarism. There is littering also, tolerance, equality, empathy. Means all these types of ethics must be get every children to fulfill his life, to commit some good works in his life. So Indian values are focused in this policy. There is also some major changes are done. Now we will get our examination for grade 3, 5th and 8 also to fulfill our learning outcomes. In the same way, application of knowledge in real life situations. The board of exam for grade 10 and 12, they will be continue, because earlier they will be just designed at memorization. Now they should be linked at learning outcomes, at learning levels. In the same way, board exams will be done, will be kept on annual basis, semester basis and module basis. It should be totally depend on the policy of central government, that is NCERT, our apex body of central government. In the same way, the Parak concept is also achieved. It is also known to us. So Parak is a national assessment center for India. In this policy, it is mentioned that Parak means performance assessment, review and analysis of knowledge for holistic development. The Parak Center, National Assessment Center, would be set up as a standard setting body for setting various types of rooms, standards and guidelines for students' assessment. And as the same way, it will be evaluated for all the recognized schools boards. So Parak and National Testing Agency, two major authorities, will be developed some strategy, fulfill our evaluation pattern for students, institution and higher education. In this policy, also one important point, gifted students is also discussed. For discussing this point, our major institutes, NCRT and NCT, these central institutions will develop some guidelines for the education of gifted students. For this, a special B.Ed programs, that is Bachelor in Education program, will be designed for gifted students for using Indian Sign Language. Some Olympiad and competitions will be also conducted for various subjects across the country. In the same way, they will use online apps with quizzes, competitions, assessment, enrichment, materials. Some online communities, means our school would be developed, would be turned into smart classroom. This is the important point which is mentioned in our policy, that every teacher, every principal must get continuous professional development. Means CPD is important for everyone. Continuous opportunities for same improvement will be offered in multiple modes with the help of workshop, online teacher development programs, that is training, seminars, webinars, etc. Every teacher will be expected to must participate in at least 50 hours of CPD opportunities every year, driven by their own interest. He can participate 50 hours for math subject, for English subject, for ICT subject, for science, for social science. It is totally on his choice. In the same way, schools principals, they are also focused. They also must participate 50 hours of CPD every year. But the module of their CPD should be covering leadership and management skills. Means principal will be provided training for leadership and management of schools with the focus on preparing, implementing pedagogical plans based on competency-based education, how our school will be developed, how our teachers strategy will be developed, how our schools foundation literacy and numeracy will be developed. So leadership skills will be provided to all principals in next few years. Next point is professional standards for teachers. So it is also important point that in every country there are different rules and regulation to appoint teacher, in particular elementary level, pre-primary level, higher level. So our policy has also planned, also guiding that what is the specific criteria for every teacher. A common guidelines would be set up by NPST, that is the new authority would be created by Government of India. It is called as National Professional Standards for Teachers. It would set up all types of standards, norms to appoint teachers, the minimal qualification of education, the minimum qualification for appointment, the minimum qualification for promotion pattern. It should be declared by NPST. In the same way, the standards would be cover expectation of the role of the teacher at different levels of expertise stage. Means whether he is teacher, where is key resource person, where is a master trainer, and the competencies required at various stages. Mean you have already seen that foundational stage, middle stage, higher education stage. Means every stage teacher would get different types of qualification and norms. Our also important institution, NCT, to be restructured as professional standard setting body. Now in current NCT, National Council for Teacher Education, they are setting up some rules and regulation for teachers, but in future NCT would be turned in professional standard setting body under the General Education Council of GSE, NCRT. It is also thought that some special educators subject teaching for children with disabilities, that is we call as Divyang children at middle and secondary school level. Means subject wise teachers would be appointed for disability and Divyang students. Their specialization would be offered during or after pre-service teacher preparation, means disability course would be given to teachers for pre-service courses teacher and in-service teacher courses with the help of NCT and RCI. RCI is a Rehabilitation Council of India, which would provide the training for teachers for disability students. Next, the important point, approach to teacher education. This is the most important point of our policy. Teacher education moved into multidisciplinary colleges and universities by 2030. Now we have institution like just standalone institution, means one institution is providing course, only one course, that is diploma in education or a bachelor in education. But now this policy focuses that in future every college must be turned into multidisciplinary colleges, means at the same time he can provide teacher education courses, at the same time he can provide arts courses, at the same time he can provide science courses, means the institute must be multidisciplinary. For when, what is the deadline? By 2030. And minimum degree qualification for teacher to teach every college, every institution, that he must have passed 4-year integrated bachelor in education degree. Those who have already got bachelor degree, he must complete 2 years B.Ed program. Those who haven't got any degree, he must have 4-year degree. Those who have completed his master degree, so he must have completed a 4-year multidisciplinary bachelor's degree to become a teacher of multidisciplinary college and university. And this B.Ed program would be given in online and blended mode, mean at the same time it will be given online mode, at the same time it will be given on online and offline mode or other distance learning education modes. So all types of modes are open to get education. And these B.Ed programs, they will give the education of foundation literacy and numeracy, multi-level teaching and evaluation, teaching children with disability, teaching children with special interest or talent, use of education technology, and learner center and collaborative learning. In the same way, some institution short courses will also be provided by Block Institute of Teacher Education and District Institute of Education and Training, because they can provide, they can create lots and lot policy-based teachers. For this, by 2021, the National Curriculum Framework for Teacher Education, that is NCFTE 2021, will be formulated by NCERT with the help of NCT. And in revise, it is revised once in every 5 to 10 years. NCFTE would be revised to get new changes, new concept, new experiences, new policies to develop this goal of getting 2021 NCFT. Another important point, that Teacher Education Institute must fulfill all the physical infrastructure. Those institutions which don't follow the rules of government, which are dysfunctional, they will be totally closed by government. So every institution must fulfill the rules and regulation would be given, which would be given by government. They have to must fulfill that rules. And 4-year integrated programs would be compulsory for every multidisciplinary institute. In future now, the admissions for pre-service teacher education programs would be get only by the online aptitude test by National Testing Agency. Now there should be not be direct admission to any diploma in education program or any bachelor in education program. All the PhD entrants, they must have some teaching experience. With the help of, they can use SWAYAM and Diksha online platform or government to develop their CPD with the help of National Mission of Mentoring. To develop National Mission of Mentoring, government would take support from some retirement person some retired scholars, some scientists, some social workers, some NGOs. So they can share their views to learners. They can share their experiences with learners, and learners would be developed. Next point, which is equitable and inclusive education, means our SDG number 5, same education, education for all. For this, some socially, economically disadvantaged groups, that is SCDGs, would be created, and they will be based on some gender identities, social and cultural identities, geographical identities, disability, and socio-economical conditions. In future, they will provide some scholarship, some separate strategies would be given by government to enlighten them, to promote them to get more and more education. These groups are followed by some scheduled caste and scheduled tribes, which are very lack of education. So government is thinking special by providing special hostels, bridge courses, financial assistance, or fee waivers or scholarship for them, so they can develop, they can promote, and they can use education in their life. For this special education zones, gender inclusion fund, means the fund is only utilized for girl education and woman education. So it is also new concept which is focused on policy, that gender inclusion funds for girls education and transgender will be utilized. In the same way, inclusion funds would be utilized for NCC wing, free boarding facilities, Kasturba Gandhi Balika Vidyalaya, and other Kendriya central government schools. So all schools will be provided as school complex facility, means the school for the cluster. In our system, there is a cluster system. In our every cluster, there are 15 to 20 schools. So the main school, the developed school, the Pragat school of that cluster, it would be provided educational support, quality support to all schools which are available in that cluster. It will be barrier free access knowledge, and it will be promote out of school children education, disability education, means one-on-one teacher to tutors, peer tutoring, open schooling, all types of support would be provided by school complex system. Next, efficient resourcing and effective governance through school complex cluster. So I already told that now school complex is new concept which is discussed in this policy for the challenge of optimal utilization and sharing of resources. It would be 2025 that every government, every state, every district must utilize school complexes in their block, in their respected district, in their education system, for to group or rationalize every school, rationalize every teacher, rationalize every officer. The benefits of school complex are various types. It improves support for children with disability. More topic central clubs would be established. Academic, sports, arts, crafts, events would be done among all schools, all complexes. Sharing of teachers, including use of ICT, library, playground to conduct virtual classes, better student quality, enrollment, attendance, and performance through sharing of counselors. Means counseling is also provided in school complex system to further enhance cooperation and positive synergy among all schools, including public and private school. Now twinning, pairing of one school with another school. This is also new policy, new pattern, which is discussed in policy, that twinning of school would be done. Means one school would be twinned to another school. Mean the benefits of one school would be given to another school. One benefits of one twinning school teacher would be given to another teacher. One school from another school, one student from another student. With the help of twinning, the clusters, the school complexes would be developed their higher quality of education, their quality education. Next, the standard setting and accreditation for school education. It is the most important point that nowadays in our education department, there are lots of parts, lots of departments, lots of divisions. But now in this policy, it is totally clear that the Department of School Education would be responsible for all overall monitoring and policy making. So educational operations which and service promotion provision for public schooling system for whole state would be handled only by Directorate of Education. Means school related administrative and service problem would be handled only by Directorate of School Education. And State School Standard Authority, that is SSSA, which will be established a minimal set of standards. This information shall be self-disclosed and will be made available on a public website maintained by SSSA. Means every school must enroll his nomination for State School Standard Authority, because this authority will be monitor, will be evaluate all types of academic infrastructure facilities of that school, and which will be give her remarks to Department of School Education. In the same way, all types of academic education, academic matters, academic policies, policies regarding training, CPD, which will be led by SCRT, that is State Council of Education Research and Training, which is the nodal institute of state, of every state. At the same way, SCOAF concept would be developed. SCOAF means School Quality Assessment and Accreditation Framework. Means in this framework, what points must have complete every school, what norms, what nomenclature would be compulsory for every school. It is given in School Quality Assessment and Accreditation Framework through worldwide consultation with the stakeholders. And now public and private school both have some compulsory norms of government, and which will be assessed and accredited on the same criteria, benchmark and process which is mentioned in SQUAP, School Quality Assessment and Accreditation Framework. So this is a link. With the help of this link, you can download this policy and you can read more and more references, because there are lots of points, there are lots of discussions will be held in this National Education Policy draft. But within our time, we can't discuss all points. We have some limitation, but these are some major initiatives of our government. That is Swayamprabha. This is news channel. This is Akashvani channel, DTH channel for our education. It is a Digital India movement. All our documents are keep safe on digital level. Our government also promotes yoga education. Our government also promotes arts education. Our government also promotes National Repository, National Book Festival. Our government also promotes pindings, that is performance indicators for teachers. Our government also promotes e-Pathshala for students to learn with the help of ICT. Our government also promotes ICT awards for best teacher, best officers. And our government also promote various types of quality-based training, that is NISTA and other trainings. So thank you, friends. This was our short presentation. I and my colleague Harsha Chavan, we were very happy and we are very grateful, and we are sharing our experiences. Mr. Ijjat Hasan sir, Dr. Kamal Jawar sir, CM ma'am, all has given us chance to present ourselves here. So we both presenters are very helpful and very grateful for Ijjat sir. So thank you, friends. So now if there are questions, we can discuss.
Feel free to ask the questions. Everyone.
Yes, now if you have questions, then we can discuss.
You can use the chat box and
You can also use chat box,
unmute, yeah.
so I can solve your doubts, your problems. I will send this PPT and this draft to our group, ETC Sweden group, so you can read very clearly what is the main points, what are the salient features of this policy. Now I will share it to our group.
Even you can mention that why what are the some differences from the policies from your respective country. So feel free you can about it.
Yes, good evening, Yogesh sir and Harsha ma'am. This was a lovely presentation, and it was really different from the other presentations that I have attended. I have attended many presentations regarding the NEP, but this presentation was very much different from others, and I congratulate Yogesh sir and Harsha ma'am, both of you. I have one question. Question is regarding the vocational education. How the states are planning, the state government or the government is planning to implement vocational education from 6th standard onwards. Because as you mentioned that they can take up gardening, they can take up other skills, but how it will be implemented? Because teachers now, the existing teachers, they are not skilled in that.
Yeah. Hello, ma'am. Actually, the curriculum should be designed in the integrated form. So the students will get naturally the opportunity to learn in their own way and during the school time also, and the activities, some work.
Ma'am, you're on mute, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So, hello.
Yes, ma'am.
So the vocational education should be given during the school time with the help of the curriculum also, and even after the school after the school time also, and outside the school premises also they will get the vocational school opportunity. How the integrated formation means the integrated of the subject has been decided for the future. So how the textbooks will be designed, the school curriculum will be designed according to the integration of the subjects. So students naturally will get the opportunity to learn with other subjects for the vocational education. And yeah, such types of curriculum will be designed, the activity should be designed, the workshops will be designed for the parallel work of the vocational education. Some online collaboration will be done, some courses will start, some school time courses, some seminars will be, see, even the entrepreneurs will be help, the NGOs will help the schools for this vocational education. Even now already some NGOs and some entrepreneurs are already attached with government's work. Already they have started to communicate and collaborate with the school education. So students will naturally get opportunity, and it will be open for all types of students there. It will be on a free of cost. So this is the remarkable thing, everything will get on a free of cost.
For answering, my next question is to Yogesh sir. As Yogesh sir mentioned that 50 hours of CPD is must. So, and that's 50 hours of CPD, teachers, educators, they will have to complete. And whether they will be completing online or what platform the government is thinking, because it is important for teachers to get that, gain that skill. Suppose I'm a teacher and I want to learn something which is related to, suppose, carpentry. That means that the skill of carpentry, being a teacher, I should learn first. So Yogesh sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
I got your point. Just think that government has discussed in this policy that 50 hours of CPD must be compulsory to every teacher. So in that 50 hours of CPD, if the situations is very much increased of corona, then it should be done at physical level or school level or your cluster level. But if our situation is not decreasing, so you can have your own choice that you can complete your CPD by Zoom app, by Google Meet, or any app through offline mode or blended mode. So this policy is declared before COVID pandemic, but now from March 2020, we are facing COVID situation. So now it is totally on the choice of that teacher that he must complete his 50 hours of CPD either through blended mode, online or offline mode, or totally offline mode. But if you have better situation in your state, in your school, so you can come 30 teachers in a class and you can complete your 50 hours of CPD. But if there is comic situation of pandemic, so you can't come to a single class, so it is better that you can complete your CPD with online mode or with the help of your senior officers or your principals or with the help of your respected education department. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Yogesh sir.
Yes. I think Dr. Kamal Jawar sir, your hand is raised from long time. Sir, you can ask your question.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
For the hard working you have done. In fact, this policy is very important for India. And I think it's very informative and fruitful plan for the policy and plan for the next decade, I think. As policy is not just for 1 year, 2 years, it's maybe for decade. My question, I have in fact 2 questions now.
Yes.
The first one related to the sincerity of this policy. As we know, as its policy, it means should be aligned with SDG and Agenda 2030. It's not clear in the presentation. Of course, it's very, very informative, but I haven't seen anything about how to integrate the policy with the SDGs and the Agenda 2030. This is the first question.
Yes, sir.
The second question related to the umbrella of this policy. I mean the values and the beliefs that rule and lead this policy. In this term, I want to suggest here the international trend, and it is from United Nations and all over the world, that they are using the inclusive education policy to rule and to lead these changes in the policies and the practices in the classroom from A to Z. It mentioned here in the presentation something related to the SIN about the disability and students with disability and how we handle them, how respond to their needs. But in fact, in general, as we know, in schools, in the education system, is not just the people with disability who needs more and additional support, additional response. I mean, we have so many problems, I want to say needs, not problems, related to the educational difficulties, for example, educational needs, plus psychosocial needs related to the behavior management and be related to the, let's say, the emergency, as you said, in the COVID or other situation. And we know that there is many floods or many drowns in India or in part here or there. And we have to consider this in the policy. In addition to the healthy needs and the disability-related needs. It's good to handle this kind of inclusion for the SIN, special education needs, or children with disability. It's not just about gender. It's not about the age. It's also about the learning, psychosocial, health, and disability. Thank you.
So Harsha ma'am, can you explain or I explain?
Yeah, we both can
First,
do.
yes. I will explain the first question, Dr. Kamal Jawal sir. Your question was how SDGs are linked with this policy. So I am very happy to share you that in our policy there are different points are covered. First, yoga education is also covered. this yoga education, our government and in all the universe, throughout universe, 21st June is declared as International Yoga Day. So the importance of yoga is discussed in this policy. So our SDG point number 3, good health and well-being, is also discussed in this point. Also, there are lots of points for education. So quality education, goal number 4, is also linked, I think, with our education. In the same way, we have discussed about out of school children. There is some disability students. So we have included some gender inclusion fund, scholarship, some seasonal hostels. So these points will be linked with SDG number 5, that is gender equity, education of transgenders, all types of poor who do not have capability to get education. So government has promoting lots of facilities to get education for deprived person. So this is linked with point number 4, that is gender equality. In the same way, in our school, we are giving midday meal, means meal to satisfy the hunger of students in every school at afternoon or all the short recess in our schools. We provide midday meal, some food for students. So this scheme, I think, definitely linked with our goal number first, that is zero hunger. Goal number 2, zero hunger. It is also linked with goal number 2. So in future, when we use technology, we use different online platforms. So it means that it is totally regarding our different goals, that is affordable, that is industrial education, that is online and digital education. So I think lots of goals would be linked in this policy, but now just our government has declared this policy. The work is going on. In next 2 years, when all types of schemes will be designed by government and when it will be utilized by all people in India, now we will clear that all the SDGs, all the 21st century skills, they are automatically utilized by our teachers, by our stakeholders, by our students. Thank you, sir. Now, Harsha ma'am, you can explain question number 2.
Hello, sir. Can you repeat the questions as per my concern? You are asking about that how the flexibility is there in the policy. Am I right, Kamal, sir? In your second question. Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Can you repeat the question?
Dr. Kamal, sir, please unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you. The second question related to the values that related to the policy, especially about the inclusion, all needs, all students with all needs. I mean, learning needs, health needs, psychosocial needs, and the disability related needs.
Yes, exactly. I would love to answer this question. So, in our 9th number silent features, we explained that there is no hard separation. The students will be given increased flexibility and choice of the subjects, and all the values should be integrated during their curriculum, during their study. All the syllabus will design according to that. Even no hard separation among the curricular, then we can mention here the extracurricular or co-curricular among the humanities, sciences, between vocational, academic, and the values. So this is important. All the values are integrated with the academic subjects, and the whole curriculum will be designed to enrich and engross all the values simultaneously, and all the parallel work should be done according to that. Even the subjects such as physical education, arts, crafts, and vocational skills, science, humanities, and mathematics will be incorporated. So all this will be incorporated to develop the values. because moral value is again the base of the Indian culture and society. So no hard separation for the values. All would be integrated and all things will be designed, all the topics, subjects, curriculum, courses will be designed to support and enhance the values. Thank you, sir.
Yes, can I add something?
Yes, sir.
Sure, sir.
In this term, here I'm talking as inclusive education advisor working for United Nations. And we face now in the COVID-19 time, we face a digital gap, which means that a high percentage of the students are excluded from the education system. They are now out of the system, out of the learning, because of the poverty, because of access, and nobody can, no country can pretend that all the students can reach the access. This is kind of exclusion, and this is one of the issues should be tackled by any policy for the next decade.
Exactly, sir. We are giving more focus for the inclusive education in India. Even we are working, it is called as a Divyanga, CWSN child in India. And we are giving more emphasis for their learning. And many courses have started, many NGOs are supporting, and many initiatives has been taken, and new courses has been started. Recently, our institute conducted one workshop, online webinar for them, and it was really helpful for that. They have presented the students from the Mumbai region. Mumbai region is included with the 7 district. So all the students from the online, they collaborate, and online they presented their learning and also the skills they develop during this period also and before the lockdown. So it is really a great platform for them. So we are just considering the how we can give them opportunity, provide platform and develop just like a normal child and giving them a natural life for them. So all the curriculum has been designed for that. No separate curriculum, but the inclusive education, inclusive curriculum has been designed for the special child also, according to their need. And we are considering them as a gifted child, special child, and the special treatment and the natural environment has been provided for them in India.
Yes, thank you.
Sir.
If anyone want to ask question, they can ask question or they can write their question in chat box.
Yeah, we have Selvam sir's query, sir, that how
Yes.
do we plan to achieve it into 100% to all levels in the education? Because always economical, backward and remote community will be lagging behind the access to technology. Very good question, sir. Selvam sir, you are rightly said that in such situations, mostly the remote areas got suffered. They are not getting that much opportunity just like the other. So they are, when they are lagging behind, then we have to take some initiative. We have to take, so every stakeholders has to take their own responsibility for that. And yeah, you can unmute yourself and talk, sir. So we can give them the opportunity, and all the stakeholders has to take the steps to provide the education. So many interventions has to be undertaken to provide the opportunity to support them with the technology. If we go through this lockdown periods, interventions of the technology, some innovations has been done. For example, means on-call education, for telephonic, then providing recordings, sending PDF, means some offline material has been provided, sent to them, and some offline resources has been provided to them. Many technology which will help them for the offline has started. Many teachers conducted some innovations during this lockdown. So such types of provisions we need to create in such situations and for them. Thank you, sir. And already government has decided how we can give them opportunity for such types of remote area for the technology enabled education. This is our main focus now. It is that technology enabled education. Yes, you can unmute yourself, Selvam sir. Okay, okay, sir. I
Okay,
think
then
we are
we
done.
will continue. Yes.
Yeah, he is not able to unmute himself. Host, can you unmute Selvam sir?
Vaibhav sir, can you unmute to same Selvam sir?
Yes, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, he is rightly said that there are many hindrances.
Yeah, good evening. Thanks for unmuting. Yeah, it was really a wonderful presentation because I was eagerly looking for the NEP 2020, how we are taking up this one in India. I am working now in Maldives under the Cambridge education system. So the question, second question now, which I have asked this because the last 1 year, we were last March 2020 onwards, we are totally into the lockdown and we started using all the online education system in a different levels. But this one, actually, we are still unable to rule out how do we tackle with the reachability of the technology to the community which is economically backward as well as for the remote area. Where we have tried with the TV and we have tried with the recorded programs and sending it into the schools and students can access from the access points in the school, but still there is a gap. So India, it's a small country, we are facing this much. Then as an Indian, as well as I know about India, we are a quite large area. So how do we make it in 2 years time? That much is a little bit, uh, it's a bit concern to me too. In 2 years time, how do we reach to that level?
Thank you, sir. Now, if anyone want to ask, they can ask us question to us, or otherwise we can finish some of this meeting. So I think there are not questions. Now I will send this presentation and the proposal of NEP 2020 India to our group. Friends, you don't worry, I will send it to our group. Now I ask Vaibhav sir. Hello Vaibhav sir. I think he is not there. So I just present here vote of thanks on behalf of Diet, Nasik, Ra Mumbai, and ETC Sweden. On behalf of Izzat Hasan sir and Kamal Jawar sir, I am very thankful to both persons. I am very thankful to Eco Training Center Sweden for giving us the golden opportunity to present our views, our thoughts to the dedicated our teacher educators throughout the world. So thankful to all my dignitaries, thankful to ETC, thankful to Harsha ma'am, thankful to Vaibhav and Urmila ma'am, and thankful to all my teacher educators for attending this workshop. So now I, on behalf of ETC Sweden, I declare that this meeting is over. Thank you.